Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to have a look at iPad OS. So today, Apple has finally released iPad OS to the general public, and you should see the update on your iPad. Now, in terms of support for iPad OS, all of the iPad Pros is supported. The iPad 5, the iPad 6, and the latest iPad Airs. The iPad Mini 4 and above, all of these models are supported. Now, all you have to do is just get into Settings, General, Software Update, and you should see iPad OS 13. Now, those of you who are currently running the betas, if you'd like to downgrade and get down to the public version, unfortunately, the only way is to restore using iTunes to the public version. So in this video, I just want to run through the best features that iPad OS brings. Now, you are going to get all of these features irrespective of the model of the iPad you own. So let's just begin. Now, firstly, we've got a slightly redesigned home screen. So as you can see, iPad OS right now takes really good advantage of the large displays that the newer iPads do have. This one is the iPad Pro 10.5 inch. As you can see, you have the option to really put a lot of applications on one home screen itself. And that really takes good advantage of the large display. You also do have the option of a slightly new slide-in widgets menu. So it's really helpful to see the most important information throughout the day. And you do have the option again to edit and add your widgets to the home screen. Now, if you do not prefer this slightly compressed view of the home screen, you can change this in settings under display and brightness and scroll all the way down and click bigger. So now you have larger icons which are much more spread out, and you will have slightly more home screens, obviously, given the size of the icons have now increased. Let me just get back to more. All right. Now, the next feature on iPad OS is dark mode. So dark mode made its debut on the iPhone and it's finally here on iPad OS. And I have to say, dark mode is really nice on the iPad, especially when you're using it in the night. It really makes the iPad look really nice. The wallpaper also does change again when you're using dark or light mode. You can also add the option to use dark mode within the control center right here. So it's very easy to manually enable or disable dark mode. Another option within dark mode is the option to enable or disable dark mode automatically. So if you enable this option, dark mode will be enabled during a sunset, and it goes back to light mode during sunrise. So that is also a new option. Now, the next option we have is with haptic touch. So haptic touch finally makes its debut on the iPad. As you can see, it works for all applications that do support it. But I personally have found really good use when it comes to third-party applications such as Word and PowerPoint. As you can see, it really shows you all of the recent documents you have created using those applications, so you really save time searching for your documents, and it's really nice and useful, especially with third-party applications. You also do get the option to use haptic touch within Control Center, especially when it comes to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. All you have to do is just tap and hold on the platter, and you can choose your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connections right here within the Control Center. You do not have to go to settings. Now, I am using the Apple Pencil. You do not need the Apple Pencil. You can just use it with your finger and it will still work as I showed you. The only downside to this is Apple still didn't fix the issue of turning off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth directly from the Control Center. As you can see, it only disconnects Wi-Fi, does not permanently turn off the Wi-Fi radio. So that is something I really wish Apple would fix. And I guess that would be in the upcoming version of the iPad OS. Now, moving ahead, let's get into Notes. So Notes has a really big update. Firstly, the Quick Path keyboard makes its debut on iPad OS. This is the same Quick Path keyboard from the iPhone, but you can only use the Quick Path keyboard when you shrink the keyboard down to a miniature size. So as you can see, hi, how are you? This is, let's do that again. This is a test. It does work quite well, but when you compare it to Gboard, it isn't as smooth or quick or as speedy when compared to Gboard, especially when you're typing really quickly. The accuracy is slightly lacking when it comes to Gboard, but however, it's a good start for Apple. When you spread out the keyboard into its regular default size, unfortunately, as I said, quick path will not work. So you will have to shrink the keyboard down to its miniature size in order to use quick path. You can also move the keyboard to different parts of the display, but unfortunately it's kind of buggy. As you can see, it doesn't quite move. So yep, that is a bug which will have to be rectified, but that does move. Now moving ahead, we have gestures when it comes to copy paste and things like that. So if you'd like to select your word or a text, it's really easy now to move the cursor. Gone are the days of using that large magnifying glass. All you have to do is just place your hand on the cursor and drag it around. As you can see, the cursor does not sit under your finger, so it's really easy to know where you are actually placing the cursor when compared to those days of using that silly old magnifying glass. This is a much better way of choosing where you would like to place your cursor. Now, if you'd like to choose a particular word, just double tap on it. If you'd like to choose a particular sentence as a whole, it's just a triple tap on the entire sentence, and there you go. We now have chosen the sentence. Now you do get the traditional buttons of copy paste up there, but you can also use the gestures. So if you'd like to copy, it's a 3-finger pinch. There we go, we have copy. And let's just go down, and for paste, it's a 3-finger spread. As you can see, we have paste. Let's do that again. Now for an undo, it's a 3-finger swipe to the left. There we go, that's an undo, and 3-finger swipe to the right is a redo. So it works quite well. As you can see, it works quite well. And overall, it's slightly more intuitive than the other older gestures before iPadOS. Now, another very tiny feature that Apple has thrown into Notes is now you do have the ability to add checklists. So you just have to click the check option at the bottom of the display, and you will get an option to add checklists. Another really good improvement with iPadOS is that Apple has been able to improve the latency of the Apple Pencil just through software. So this is the Apple Pencil first generation, and I have to say that the overall latency is quite noticeable. Apple has really made the Apple Pencil very, very smooth on this version of iPadOS, and those of you who use the Apple Pencil on a regular basis are really going to notice that improvement. It works very nice and very smoothly, and it's a really nice experience. So that is a slight update to Notes. Let's move ahead. The next biggest update comes with multitasking. Now, multitasking is really versatile. It really enhances the use of iPad as a whole. So say you are in Safari right now and you would like to open another tab. You can obviously open another tab within Safari as you would always do, but you can also open another tab within another window. So all you have to do is hold on the tab windows and just click open new window. So you do have side-by-side windows of Safari right now. Let's just go to the Apple website right here. Just give it a second to load. All right, so we have loaded up the website. Let's bring in Notes. Say you'd like to copy and paste a link into Notes. So let's just drag out Notes, and you can place it right in the middle to get it into the slide over function. Let's just bring it here, open up a new note. There we go. And say you would like to just drag and drop a link. It's quite easy. Just hold and just drag the link you'd want and just throw it up into Notes. It works so seamlessly. It works very smoothly. There we go. Let's do another one from this side. There we go. So overall, it works really, really well. And once you're done with a particular Safari tab, it's quite easy to just close the tab all away, and you can open up another tab. Now, again, as I said, it's much more versatile because you do have a lot of combinations you can play around with. Say, for example, you'd like to watch a YouTube video as a slide over. So just pull out YouTube, bring it out in the middle, and there we have YouTube as a slide over. We can also close down a Safari tab. We have one large Safari tab. Let's say you would want to look at different applications. So here are all the applications we have open in slide over. Rather than manually choosing those applications, you can just cycle through them. As you can see, we can just very easily cycle through them using the home bar at the bottom right there. You can also make these into another window, just drag and drop, and you have a whole window for notes. We can also play around the same way. We can bring out Safari again, open up the website again. We can do this, maybe bring out music as well. And again, we can cycle through them. As you can see, it works really well, and you can make innumerable combinations with this. And overall, it really does enhance the overall usage of the iPad, especially when it comes to multitasking. Now guys, those are the biggest features that you will see on iPad OS. And I just want to briefly talk about the overall usability of the device. I've been running all the betas, as I said, and have seen that the overall performance has been quite stable, has been quite good. Given that we do have, obviously, the occasional bugs do creep up, and I haven't come across any really bad issues where I had to restore or things like that. Most of the third-party applications do work. I've not had any issues with them. When it comes to gaming, PUBG also does run quite well on it. Yes, the iPad does get quite warm during long periods of gaming, but PUBG hasn't crashed or anything like that. Things have been working quite well. When it comes to battery life as well, I have been getting quite decent battery life, not the 10 hours that Apple claims. And again, given that it's completely dependent upon your usage, as you can see, I've got about 6 hours, 57 minutes of screen on time, and it's mostly been used for YouTube. So overall, I have to say that it's quite good. Things are going pretty well, and iPad OS, I'm really enjoying the way it's working. So that's it guys. I hope you did like the video. If you did, hit the like button and the subscribe button, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.